Welcome to the Healthy Lifestyle Show podcast. Our podcast is all about eating healthy, being active, and living a healthy lifestyle. We believe living healthy should be easy. That's why we have a free ebook at healthylifestyleformula.com, which can help you start your healthy lifestyle journey in easy-to-follow steps. Let's jump into this week's podcast topic and welcome our guest. Welcome, Jay. Happy holidays. How are you doing today?
Good. How was your Christmas break?
It was very good, thank you.
Well, I think it does happen that during any kind of vacation or some kind of celebration, like Christmas is just a celebration of everything, we start eating all kind of funny things.
Yes, it does happen.
And we should, I mean, this is what I always say, hey, enjoy life.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy life by eating everything.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're talking about eating everything, I'm going to talk about today a new way of eating, which is totally new, where it doesn't allow you to eat everything.
Okay. In what way is that?
It's called the Paleo diet system.
Okay.
And the word paleo, it's spelled as Paleo.
Mm-hmm.
And this word is coming from the Paleolithic era. The Paleolithic era.
Okay.
That's why this word is coming from there. It's called the Paleo diet.
Okay.
Now, there are different names. You would find the Paleo meal system, the Paleo diet, the Paleolithic diet, and there are a few more interesting names like the caveman's diet, the Stone Age diet, it's hunter-gatherer's diet.
Yeah.
And the reason why all these names are coming, because it comes from the era which ended, I'm thinking, almost like 10,000 years back or so.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the Paleolithic era ended. So, interestingly, when the human evolution started, it ended almost like 10,000 years back or so. Like, we have gone through multiple phases of our own physiological or biological, all those developments, disappearing of tail, this and that, and so many things,
Yeah.
So, which started, of course, a million years back or so, The theory of the paleo diet is that whatever our ancestors were eating in that era, our system, our entire body system, including our digestion, gut, everything, is good for only that kind of nutrition what our ancestors were eating. Okay. That's the whole theory.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why all of these names were coming: the caveman's diet, the hunter-gatherer's diet, the Stone Age diet. All of these names are coming from that same connection.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you look at the history, you'll see that in that era, there was no commercial farming. I should take that word back. Commercially started everything much, much later in that, like in our phase.
Yeah.
But even the normal planned agricultural production was not there. People were not planting anything to grow so that they can eat that thing. It was all wild in those days. So because of that, what happened is that our diet system got changed as the population grew.
Yeah.
Scientists, experts, everybody started working on that. What should we do so that we can feed more bodies? And that's when the grain production started.
Okay.
So, like wheat, rice, so many other those grains are there. None of those are allowed
Yeah.
as part of the paleo diet.
Oh, okay.
So if you are, let's say you decided to follow the paleo diet,
Yep.
then you can't take the wheat.
Yeah.
So none of those bread, pasta, all of that, so many great variety of food which
Yeah.
you normally eat
Yep.
is not allowed as part of this diet.
Okay.
The same thing is even for the rice. You can't eat rice.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because rice again is scientists came up with this method of, and then they started developing the rice so that you can grow more and more rice.
Yeah.
And that's what had happened with barley. That's what had happened with many of those kind of grains.
Yeah.
There's so many grains we have.
Mm-hmm.
All of this happened because scientists started looking for ways to feed this always growing population.
Yeah.
So anything which is humanly, you can say, changed,
Mm-hmm.
that type of food is not allowed
Oh, okay.
as part of the paleo diet. So you might be saying, what else is not allowed?
Yeah.
There's a long list of things which is not allowed. So let me go back.
Okay.
Basically, this whole thing was started back in 1975 by a book writer and all that. Maybe I think I'll save it for writing on our blog post so that people can go
Yeah.
and read more about it.
Yeah.
But there's one individual who basically popularized everything.
Yeah.
His name is Dr. Lauren Cordain, I think.
Yep.
And he did a variety of cookbooks. Basically he took the system which was talked about for the first time back in 1975.
Yep.
And he has spent his entire life talking about the paleo diet
Oh, wow.
and why this is better
Yeah.
and how this can help people like you and I or anybody else who's looking for making sure that our health is okay.
Yeah.
The fundamental theory is that our genes
Mm-hmm.
never changed
Yeah.
since the Paleolithic era was over.
Yeah.
Even though we changed our diet.
Yeah.
So what our ancestors were eating, they were eating wild veggies,
Yep.
fruits,
Mm-hmm.
and basically nuts.
Yeah.
No grains. There was not even a concept of grains at that time.
Yeah.
No dairy products because there was no domestication
Yeah.
by that time of any animal for the purpose of milking. So
Yeah.
there was nothing like milking the cow.
Yeah.
Of course, you can take eggs because people were in that era were eating eggs.
Yeah.
Then they were taking lots of, I would say, proteins through animal,
Yep.
wild games,
Yeah.
and basically all of that was okay because you could take it at that time. It was allowed.
Yeah.
It was easily available.
Yeah.
That's why our ancestors were hunting, gathering nuts, veggies, fruits, and doing all of that. And even the plant leaves,
Yeah.
which basically are herbs,
Yeah.
the roots,
Yeah.
the stem, or any of that which was easily available to our ancestor
Yeah.
during that time. So because of that,
Yeah.
now I have already told you that no grains are allowed.
Yeah.
Similarly, no legumes
Oh, okay.
are allowed. So people start saying, what am I going to eat?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll keep that for the next episode.
Okay.
I can more talk at the high level because this is more for the purpose of what is the paleo diet. That's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about like a little bit at high level, the paleo for beginners kind of a thing.
Yep.
And I have already talked about the the dairy products are not allowed. So no milk,
Yeah.
no cheese. Oh gosh, are you saying, what am I going to eat? And there's so many milk products and all that. None of that is allowed.
Yeah.
You can eat a variety of lots of veggies. No issues with that.
Yeah.
Lots of fruits. Absolutely no issues with that.
Yeah.
And nuts. So if you love nuts, hey, keep taking.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But if you can take non-vegetarian food like meat, like seafood was very much in plenty at that time.
Yeah.
For those who were near the water.
Yeah.
And they were basically hunting, fishing, doing all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's why the game meat is considered better than the any other type of meat available. So that's how it works. I know there's one question which comes quite often.
Yeah.
Hey, I am a hardcore, let's say, vegetarian.
Yeah.
What am I going to eat? Help me.
Yeah.
And I want to assure those people, if you are vegetarian and if you ever wanted to try the paleo diet, it's doable. Because you can replace any of that game or meat protein with other things.
Okay.
And it's okay if you are hardcore vegetarian or vegan, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can still live with this. Now, any kind of processed food which we normally eat in our modern society, processed foods have become like almost everywhere.
Yeah. It's hard to get away from.
That's right. You're not allowed to eat those.
Yeah.
You can eat some of those fruits and all that. People, look, what I always say is follow the system, follow the principle, follow the basics.
Yeah.
But the society where we are living, there are a few things you cannot do in the same way, even if you want to do.
Yeah.
So, don't compromise, but at least water down or make it more practical for yourself, that system.
Yeah.
So, I'm talking about fruits. There are frozen foods.
Yeah.
Frozen fruits, frozen veggies and all that without any chemicals.
Yeah.
It's vacuum sealed. There's no chemicals, nothing. It's okay for you. You can use some of those. Mm-hmm. So those kind of things are there which makes your life easier.
Yeah.
Also, no refined sugar is allowed as part of this diet.
Yeah.
No salt is allowed. You can take rock salt, the Himalayan or some of those rock salts are okay.
Yeah.
Or the reason why some of this is there, because there was no commercial production at that time.
Yeah.
And when we started adding all of this, basically we started making our system unfit for what our system is good at. If you read more research material on this, you'll see that a majority of the modern health issues, health challenges, are due to the diet system, which we have invented in order to feed millions and millions of the people because the population is growing.
Yeah.
And that's a practical issue.
Yeah.
So because of that, we have invited many of those issues like blood pressure, heart issues, thyroid, diabetes, you name it. Yeah. There's a long list of things.
Yeah.
Now, the gentleman who has worked his entire life, Dr. Lauren, his theory says that if you go back to this kind of paleo diet, many of these issues, well, everything is there in the system. You can't really remove all the toxins what you have, but you can control or you can manage it better. by keeping your diet more the paleo type diet, because that's what our gut cannot handle many of those new microorganisms or bacteria, or you talk about all of that. It cannot handle all of that. And despite so many years of development, technological, agricultural, information, industrial, you name it, we have added more and more elements where we have changed our diet further because we want to keep growing the production so that we can keep feeding this growing population all the time. So that's basically is all about the paleo diet system. Now you might be saying, it seems a little bit rigorous, right? It's really meant for those who have done their homework, have done their research, and looking for the best from their own body. That's one major category. So what's that category? Where people are saying, you know what, I've tried everything for losing weight. Nothing works for me. Or I have tried all those crash diets. I've lost some weight, but it comes back so often. What do I do? Some experts recommend them trying out the paleo diet. And many of those success stories have been shared online and more so by the celebrities. Because when the celebrities try these kind of things, and when they lose weight and they are happy and they have more energy, because that's another thing, you get much more energy because of this new diet system. And you feel younger, you feel, much better overall. And because of that, then everybody starts looking at, and everybody starts getting curious about, what is this, the paleo diet system? So that's one category. Another one is if you're looking for, let's say you want to do there's so many popular fitness programs. I just talk about the Ironman or the mud races, the Spartan races, and all of those. There's so many we can keep talking about. There, people like you and I, we train for these kind of things. And then we see some kind of wall hitting soon. And we say, we still want to challenge ourselves. How do we go beyond where we have reached? Those are another large number of people who try the paleo diet. And of course, the curious people are always there. They read, they do their research, and then they say, hey, I want to try it. So that's another group of people. And the last one I would say is the one where doctors are recommending, or the nutritionists are recommending, or the coaches, the health coaches are recommending, where they say, hey, your body can't handle any kind of gluten. This is one option for you. You can switch over to the paleo diet. Another one is the milk products. There are some people who say, my body can't handle any kind of milk product. They have some intolerance, or the intolerance, whatever you call it, the milk intolerance. They cannot handle some of those kind of things, and they always look for options. And sometimes your doctor say, hey, you got some celiac issues. You better change your diet. So it's almost like a kind of it's thrown on you, even though you're not looking for that. But you have no other option. And you start looking at that, what can I do? And the doctor said, hey, have you thought about the paleo diet? Do you want to try that? And then people start reading and then say, okay, I want to try that. And then they are happier. Then they say, hey, this is working for me. This is great. My life is better, even though sometimes I do miss the bread. I do miss the rice. I do miss the, all that cheese and everything. But hey, I'm much better. No complaints. So that's basically, in nutshell, explains everything about the paleo diet for the beginners.
Yep.
I think in the next episode, I would share a little bit more about the kind of foods which I allowed.
Okay.
The foods which are like cautionary, like you can say the yellow light foods. That's what I call it.
Yep.
The way I call it is the green light foods, the yellow light foods, and the green and the red light foods.
Yeah.
Red light foods are the ones where you should avoid it no matter what.
Yeah.
But I also always suggest go for, rather than 80-20, go for maybe 90-10 in the beginning.
Yeah.
90% paleo foods.
Yep.
10% your non-paleo, something which you're cutting down.
Yeah.
And slowly you keep changing, and hey, whatever like you can over the time, maybe you can start with 80-20 and slowly start changing this whole thing.
Yeah.
And over the time, then as you see more and more benefits for yourself, hey, if something is working for you, why not?
Yeah.
So there's so many diet system, and I think we'll talk about these different diet system over the time.
Yep.
I think we're going to continue talking a little bit more about the paleo diet even in the next episode. Maybe we'll see how much we can cover in the next episode, and then we'll see if a couple of more episodes required. Then we'll do that.
Sure. Sounds great.
All right. So at least now you know something new about the paleo diet today.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. We'll talk to you again next time.
See you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again next time. If you want to start your healthy lifestyle journey, don't forget to get your free ebook at healthylifestyleformula.com to start your healthy lifestyle journey in easy-to-follow steps. This podcast is brought to you by healthylifestylepodcast.com.